Okay, pharmacology in the 20th and 21st century. So beginning in the 20th and 21st century, there was fresh wind of synthetic chemistry to begin re- the revolutionize the pharmaceutical industry. With it, the science of pharmacology, new synthetic drugs such as barbiturates and local anesthetics began to appear, and the era of antimicrobial chemotherapy began with discovery of Paul Ehrlich in 1909 of arsenical compounds for treatment of syphilis, so sexually transmitted disease, and the Paul Ehrlich was one of the proponents of chemotherapy. So Gerhard Dogmack in 1935. Uh, So he was one of the okay. So let me check something about Gerhard Mac. Okay, Gerhard Mac. So Wikipedia article on Gerhard Mac. Okay, so Gerhard Mac. Okay, so it's not mentioned here. So uh, Gerhard Mac had tested a drug on his child. Okay, some antimicrobial drug. So, with the development of penicillin by chain Fleury during the Second World War, based on the early work of Fleming, these few well-known examples show how the growth of synthetic chemistry and the resurgence of natural product chemistry caused a dramatic revitalization and therapeutic in the first half of the 21st century. So there were some other people. So you have the neurotransmitters and inflammatory mediators being discovered during this period. So people like Henry Hallertale, Great Hunt, and many others. So also like uh, many other people like Clark, Gadam, Shield were involved in this. Had made many contributions to the pharmacology. So largely one of the early proponents of receptor theory. So receptor theory for chemical mediators. So Gadam was one of the early pharmacologists who had written an authoritarian book on pharmacology. So that's called John Gadam's Pharmacology. Uh, So it was an authoritarian book from 1948 to for decades. So it was first published somewhere in 1950, 48 something. And the receptor concept was developed during that period. And so the pharmacology during the early period, so during 3000 BC, so you have magical potions and herbal remedies. I want to just talk about some magical potions. So what happens is that altering the psychological mind. So a person's thinking and in the environment which a person is, uh, uh, which is a person's habitat. If a person is removed from that habitat and the environment is changed, so it can be changed by altering a person's mind through magical potions, so that can be called magical potions. So nowadays Everything is so well developed. It's like for psychology and therapeutics are well developed, so the altering a person's mind can have some uh, can give some relief. So okay, it can be done through therapeutics also, through drugs, herbal remedies. So you have the commerce. So through herbal remedies, you have the commerce, pharmaceutical industry, synthetic drugs is developed, and you have the chemistry. So natural products, chemical structure, and synthetic chemistry. Biomedical science is there. So various biomedical science like pathology, physiology, biochemistry, molecular biology, biopharmaceuticals. Everything converges on pharmacology, and that's how this science was born. So this is the development of pharmacology. And pharmacology today. So after 20th and okay, alternative therapeutic principles, you have this allopathy and homeopathy. So allopathy was exposed by James Gregorian, and homeopathy was postulated by Hahnemann. So allopathy favored bloodletting, emetics, and purgatives, which were used until dominant symptoms of the disease were suppressed. So, like homeopathy, the implausible guiding principles of homeopathy are like cures like an activity can be enhanced by dilution. So, Hahnemann recommended the use of drugs at dilutions of 1 is to 10 uh, to the power of 60, equivalent to one molecule in a sphere the size of the orbit of Neptune. So many other systems of therapeutics have come and gone, and variety of dogmatic principles have principles that they embodied have tended to hinder the rather advanced scientific progress. So therapeutic systems that have a basis that lies outside the domain of science are actually gaining ground under the general banner of alternative or complementary medicine. And so the focus, okay, the UK Medicines and Healthcare Regulatory Agency requires detailed evidence of therapeutic efficacy based on controlled clinical trials before a new drug is registered, but no clinical trials data for homeopathic products or for the many herbal medicines that were on sale before the Medicines Act of 1968. So this is the story of allopathy and homeopathy. So emergence of biotechnology. With the advance of biotechnology, what we have the pharmacology today. So we have a good diagram here. So which shows psychology, psychopharmacology, clinical medicine, therapeutics, clinical pharmacology, veterinary medicine, pharmacy, and biotechnology, pathology, chemistry. So from pathology or toxicology, medicinal chemistry, biopharmaceuticals, pharmaceutical sciences, veterinary medicine, veterinary pharmacology, so pharmacokinetics, drug metabolism, biochemical pharmacology, chemotherapy, molecular pharmacology, so systems pharmacology, various systems are like neuro, cardio, gastrointestinal, immune, respiratory, and pharmacogenetics, pharmacogenomics, pharmacoepidemiology, and pharmacoeconomics. So genetics, genomics, clinical epidemiology, and health economics. So this is pharmacology today with its various subdivisions. Interface disciplines link pharmacology to other mainstreams biomedical disciplines. So pharmacology in the 20th and 21st century, and you have pharmacoeconomics. So economics indeed depends on the price of a drug. So the wealthy people can afford costly drugs. The poor people go for low priced drugs. Pharmacoepidemiology. So the reactions that you get out of adverse drug reactions on every population or Okay, the population reacts to differently with every drug. Pharmacogenomics. So pharmacogenomics is nothing but personalized medicine. So with advent of pharmacology, personalized medicine was developed. So examples that okay, you have something called the genetic polymorphism of drug metabolizing enzymes. So various drug metabolizing enzymes like CYP, cytochromes, and these drugs uh, have metabolized the chemicals in different way. So pharmacogenetics. This is the study of genetic influences on responses to drugs discussed in chapter 11. So chapter 11 would be that's chapter 11 would be discussed later on in Ranganil's pharmacology, not here. So this is online version of Ranganil's pharmacology from student consult. Since buying this Ranganil's pharmacology book gives access to student consult, but this student consult has only the chapter first chapter available. So rest of the chapters has to be paid for. So this online edition, so I just have the Kindle edition of Rangandel's Pharmacology. So the Rangandel's Pharmacology uh, online version, um, that's this one. So pharmacogenetics. So this is a study of genetic influences on the responses to drugs discussed in original pharmacogenetics, focused on familial idiosyncratic drug reactions where affected individuals show an abnormal, usually adverse response to a drug class of a drug. It now covers broader variations in drug response where genetic basis is more complex. So biotechnology, so various biotechnological advances like monoclonal antibodies, recombinant DNA technology, and genotyping, transgenic animals. So these all contribute to the development of pharmacology. Okay, this is it. Thank you.